Sarah, I'm super glad you're here, and I'm curious to know, you came to WorkSpaces. Were you searching for answers for something? Was there a question you were seeking?
So this is actually my third time coming
Ah,
to Workspaces, and it's an incredibly valuable use of my time, frankly, because I can connect with other end users, and there are thought-provoking presentations. I don't feel like there are presentations that are a thinly veiled sales pitch. One of my other favorite things, and we were just hearing Rex Miller talk about empathy and connection. There are some industry events or groups that it almost feels like a caste system between end users and suppliers. And one of the things I love about this is when you are meeting with the suppliers, it's a 20-minute session. You're getting to know them as an individual. They're a human,
right.
and then socially we're all hanging out together. And so I find it's really valuable because of that human connection and the mutual learnings.
So you mentioned today that you've already been intrigued by some of the presentations. We're
Absolutely.
halfway through today's
Yeah,
presentations.
yeah, yeah.
What specifically has really caught your attention?
Well, we just had this presentation from GitLab. I think his name is Darren Murph.
Yep.
I feel like our industry's been a little polarized around work from anywhere versus return to office. And I don't think it's a versus situation at all. I don't think we should be as polarized about many things as we are. But Darren just brought up the most, something I felt was the most intentional way of, in a fully distributed workforce, how you can bring, how you can have deeper connection. So he used this example where instead of having an hour of forced fun, the virtual happy hour, instead giving everyone an hour to go out into the community and do something personally important to them, and then share it. And I made a note of it. I want to do it with my team. I love that. We have a strong culture of giving back at Genentech. We actually have a whole week called Gives Back Week.
Love it.
We do what we call the Children's Walk, where we raise a lot of money for children's health, and going and spending an hour with your team or an afternoon or whatever at Family House cleaning. Family House is a nonprofit that supports children who are in UCSF critical care, so their families can all stay there. So anyway, when you go do that with your team, or you go do it even by yourself, you're doing something that fills your bucket, and then sharing it allows for connections to happen. So I really like that Darren brought that up, because it's one of the things I've really been questioning. How do we connect when we're not going to be in person? And also, Genentech has place-based work. We do drug discovery and we manufacture drugs. That all happens in a place. You can't do drug discovery in your kitchen. You can't make drugs in your garage unless you're Walter White.
I mean,
Unless you're Walter White, then And then we're doing different drugs than he is.
Well, that's awesome. Would you say, based on how you're feeling, would you say the future is bright for work right now, or is it cloudy? Or how do you feel?
I would say I am an optimist.
Love it.
And actually, I've been listening to, you had mentioned a Brene Brown quote to me a few minutes ago. I've been listening a lot to Simon Sinek, who's got a podcast called A Bit of Optimism. And he and Brene Brown actually have some super interesting conversations. So I am an optimist, which means I can acknowledge that things are murky right now. And for some, they may be perceived as difficult because you're trying to find a new balance. I absolutely think that the future is bright. I think that we are going to move forward in a healthier way. We just have to figure out the balance between what employees want as humans and what their contributions are to the company.
Love it. Well, Sarah, thank you. I really appreciate your take and
You're
your
welcome.
time.
It was
Thanks
fun.
for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah.